Welcome in, or shall I say howdy. Gosh, I should just see myself out at this point. I'm Archerus, and in this week, we are going over Hody Jones and seeing if it's actually a strong deck or is it just a meme. I think, though, if you're looking for a quick answer and you're just wanting to click out of the video, I don't think it's actually a meme. I think it's a pretty strong deck, and I think that the memes that we've been seeing on social media, whether it's through Reddit or Twitter or X or whatever it's called at this point, I think that there is some truth, some sincerity behind just how strong the deck is. It has one of the more explosive starts, considering what's in the meta right now. A lot of people just don't give Hody Jones a real chance, and I think that it is, at the very least, like a local legend type of deck that you could probably do really well at if you learn your matchups. Although I will say that Sakazuki is an auto loss for this deck, which what deck isn't at this point, to be fair. So anyway, enough about that. Hody Jones, in case you're unfamiliar with Hody Jones and what he does, is he's an activate main. You may rest this leader, rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 3 or less, or one of their Dawn. Then during this turn, you cannot add life cards to your hand through your effects. So off the bat, this kind of seems like a strange effect, like you're not swinging with your leader, but you do have the option to. And on top of that, you don't take a life. So you're resting something, you don't take a life. That seems just strange. It's very weird. But the whole premise of this deck is a lot of the Fishman type cards, they have strong effects, and in order to pull those off, they require you to take your life by doing so. And if you rest your leader, then you don't have to take your life. It's like a lot of different decks that we've seen in the meta, but put into one. So it's kind of like Whitebeard, except you have the option of not taking a life. It's like Rebecca or Iceberg, because it doesn't attack, but you're getting a payoff for not attacking. So I think that we've looked historically at leaders that cannot attack as generally weak. I do like this option, though, where you can attack or you cannot attack and get an effect off of it, which maybe is how the other leaders should have been built. If you think about it, would be kind of cool. Maybe a stronger way to represent leaders that can't attack, give them the option to, or give them the option to not attack. Anyways. Hody Jones, though, you have the option to attack, you have the option to use the ability. Typically, you will be using this ability and not taking life, but there are times where you can take the life and then get a draw, which allows you to draw a lot of cards, and who doesn't love drawing cards? So, before we get into the deck list, if you find anything in this video useful or informative, please make sure to drop a like and a sub. It helps out the channel immensely. I can't thank you enough. Additionally, we just hit 2,000 subscribers, which is pretty insane, so thank you so much all for the support there. Lots more to come. Let me know what you would like to see from this channel outside of just deck profiles. I have lots of different ideas that I'd like to work on when it comes to the One Piece card game, but I do want to invest some more time into doing some things around One Piece, whether it be like live matches or things like that. So just let me know in the comments. But thank you once again for getting me to 2,000 subscribers. It's honestly a joy to do this kind of content and be part of the One Piece community. Also, would love to have you in the Discord if you want to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments. The link is in the description below. So let's get into the deck list. Enough rambling. Off to the start, we have our 2K counters in Hachan, which is a 4 of. It's a Fishman, so it can be searched off the Kami searcher that we'll get to in a bit. But Hachan, mostly 2K counter. The trigger, you're not going to be able to pull it off because Hody Jones is not part of an East Blue type, but regardless, it is a searchable 2K counter. Next, we're running 2 Arlong, which I could argue that this card could be bumped up a little bit, and the reason why, it is very strong in its effect. On play, you may discard 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your opponent's rested leaders may not attack until the end of their next turn. So against decks like Moria, Sakazuki, Yamato, any of those decks where their leader being able to swing is helpful for them, this shuts that off. That's why I argue it could be bumped up to maybe 3 or 4. The downside here, though, is that it does not have a counter on it, so it can be a dead card in hand. Then we're running 4 of the Ikaros Muhi, which is an on-play if your leader's type is Fishman Pirates, new Fishman Pirates rather, play up to 1 4-cost or lower Fishman character card from your hand, then add the top card of your life to your hand. It's also got a 1,000 power counter on it, it's 5 cost, and it's 6,000 power body. This is kind of like an Ohm Holy combo from Enel, but a little bit stronger if you ask me, because it comes with the 6,000 power body. It's a 5 cost, which that's very relevant in this meta, a lot harder to remove. And then it can bring out another body for free, and especially in a meta where 1 body a turn often gets removed or answered, this is a very strong play because you can get 2 bodies out, and likely one of those bodies will survive for the next turn. Then we're running 4 Kami. This is your searcher for the deck. It is an on-play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Fishman or Merfolk type card other than Kami and reveal it, put it in your hand. Then put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. A great 1k counter, great searcher. You want to kind of mulligan for this if you can, if you don't see what you need in your opening hand, and then this will allow you to find a lot of your pieces in between. Next we have Zeo, which is a new 2k counter from OP06. This is a Dawn ×1 when attacking. If your leader has the new Fishman Pirates type, set up to 1 of your Dawn is active, and then this character gains 1000 power for the turn, then add the top card of your life to your hand. This is mostly a 2k counter, but there are times where maybe you don't have something to throw out with the Ikaros Muhi, and this is in your hand, you want to throw it out. That it is, for 1 Dawn, a 5,000 power attacker, so that's not too bad, not too shabby overall. It is one of the more playable 2Ks in this deck. Then we're running 3, actually, you know what, I'm going to change this up right now. We're going to change out the Dosun to the Daruma, because I think Daruma is probably better overall. I think Daruma is a 4 of, we're on the go fixing this, because of its ability, Dawn ×1 when attacking. Once per turn, if your leader has the new Fishman Pirates type, set this character as active and give it power plus 1000 for the turn. I don't know what's worded that way on the card, probably because I have off translations here, but then add the top card of your life to your hand. So this is, if you throw it down on your second turn, the next turn you put 1 Dawn underneath it, you swing twice. And you can also choose to swing with your leader as well and take a card from your life. So then you're just drawing a card. So yeah, I think this is one of the strongest cards you can have out on the field very early on. It's annoying for your opponent to have to deal with. Next we have Dosun, which is a 3 cost, 4000 power body. When attacking, if your leader has the new Fishman Pirates type, this character cannot be KO'd in battle and gains at 2000 power until the start of your next turn. Then add the top card of your life to your hand. If you don't see the Daruma, I think the Dosun is a very admirable second choice. This is a very annoying card because your opponent has to use removal on it to get rid of it rather than just attack into the body. And if they choose to ignore it, it is 6000 power coming their way. And that's pretty nice as well, that you can also choose to draw a card off of it if you want. So keep that in mind. Then we're running 4 Vanderdeck in the 9th. This is an on-play. You may trash a Fishman type card from your hand or trash a Noah's Ark from your hand or field. KO up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters. So for 2 Dawn, you can get rid of anything on the field. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a Big Mom. So for 2 Dawn, you're getting rid of a Big Mom, putting a small body on the field. Sure, you're trashing a card, but who cares? You're getting rid of a Big Mom. That's sick. So yeah, we're going to go 4 Vanderdeck in here, and we have all these Fishman that we can throw away. So next we have Hyozu, which is a 4 cost, 6000 power body. Activate main once per turn. Rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and this character gains 1000 power during this turn. Then add the top card of your life to your hand. Just one thing though, for the sim, this card I believe has been errated. So in the sim, make sure you change this one out, the Hyozu. I'm just catching this now because one of the reasons why is because it says Merfolk on it, and it is not usable with the Ikaros Muhi, which is one of your stronger combos. You can't bring it out because Ikaros Muhi is a Fishman type. And this is a Merfolk according to this. So according to the actual card here, it is a Fishman. I don't know why it's Merfolk in the sim or on this printing and also coded that way, but I think there may have been a mistake somewhere along the way. Then we're running 4 Hody Jones. This is one of the big boss men of the deck here, and it's the man himself of the hour. He's a 7 cost, 8000 power. That's crazy, right? That's like Big Mom numbers. Rush, even crazier. And then on play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters and or Dawn. Then put the top card of your life into your hand. So this is one of the few decks that can actually just not have to worry about that stipulation and rest its leader and then use the Hody Jones, not take a life. It's a 8k beater, so we love seeing that. This deck runs around Hody Jones in my opinion. That and also the Zoro if you can get it down, but Hody Jones definitely is the MVP of the deck. Then we have 4 of the Zoro. Obviously, it would be nice to have a manga one here, but we have, in real life, we don't even have a single one, unfortunately. But this is a 9 cost, 9k body. When attacking, once per turn, pay 1 Dawn, set this character as active. Activate main once per turn. Pay 2, set this character as active. So this will allow you to attack 3 times in a turn with a single card. You can also have enough Dawn if you want to just swing flat. Go swing leader, Hody Jones 5, put a 7-drop Hody Jones onto the field, and then swing 8, and then have 3 attacks coming for 9 after that. So a very strong sequence if you can do that in a turn. But it is very hard to pull off, and the reason why is because in a meta where a lot of things get removed, Zoro doesn't stick around very often. This is a very good, strong card against yellow, which you will be facing a lot of and is also difficult for you to face against because you do not want to be taking your life a lot against yellow, and therefore you're not attacking with your leader and not applying as much pressure. So that's something that this card takes care of, is applies a lot of pressure at the end game. You can't search off of it. If you get into it, if you have it in your opening hand, I think you're keeping that hand because this card, if it sticks, wins you the game for sure. Then we have 4 of the Dracula Mihawk. This is a 2k counter, which it is an on-play if you have 2 or less characters play up to 1 4-cost or lower Shigeru Kingdom type or / trait character card other than Dracula Mihawk from your hand rested. Pretty good combo if you want to play down a 2k and apply extra pressure, get 2 bodies out in a single turn. Then we're running 4 of the whoever wins this war becomes Justice 0-cost event counter that you may trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader or one of your characters gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. And then the trigger is rest an opponent's character with a cost of 4 or less. So both the trigger or the actual effect very strong in this deck because you do have a fair amount of cards without counter on them. So this essentially acts as 2k counters, and then your non-counter cards act as 1k counters because of this. So rest an opponent's character, though, with a cost of 4 or less is probably the more important line of text. With 4 of these, you're bound to see something in life, and you can rest a blocker, you can rest a character that might be coming to attack at you. So pretty strong. It's like a mini Punk Gibson. But then a Punk Gibson for the entire board is a Noah's Ark, which is an on-play rest all your opponent's characters for 6 Dawn, or the trigger, put this card into play. It's so amazing to have this come out of life and then stop, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 attacks in a single turn. Incredibly powerful. However, the cost of that is extremely steep, so that's why we're only running 2 of them, because there are some times where you could just hard cast a Noah's Ark. I don't recommend that, but there are times you could do it, especially if there's multiple blockers in the field and you just want to get like a Zoro swinging. You could probably on your 10 Dawn turn play Noah's Ark and then put 1 Dawn under Zoro and swing 10k 3 times. Strong play. But otherwise, you're probably going to hold on to this or hope that it's in life and then just use this as a fodder for the 0-cost event. So overall, I believe Hody Jones is a pretty strong deck. I know that I've talked a lot on it in this lead up to it, but I definitely think that there is something here, and I hope that people take this deck into actual consideration and not just meme on it, because I think while they're funny, yes, I actually think there's a little bit of strength within this deck itself. So let's take it into the sim and see how it does. Okay, let's go first against Katakuri, and we actually have a pretty strong curve here. We go Kami into Hody into Zoro. So if we can stay healthy, I think this is a pretty strong start. Pretty good hand for us. Even better yet, we have the Daruma to play the next turn. So let's get the Daruma going. And then this turn, we'll just swing 5 and then play down the Daruma. I think we use the Daruma twice next turn. Or we might just... What do? We might just like swing, take a life here. Oh, second Daruma's not too bad. We could put another Daruma down, actually. That's not too bad. Oh, actually, I like this play better. I like playing the Arlong. Yeah. Let's rest the Parasparrow. We're actually going to take out the Parasparrow here. We'll go 7. Oh, well, 6, I guess. Did I misunderstand this card? I guess I did. It's 6. That's still strong. Go 6 again. Okay. And then we're going to play an Arlong, and I guess we can get rid of Daruma? Yeah. Daruma. And now their leader can't attack. They don't have foresight on what they have. Okay, that's fair. But this turn, we're going to actually just play the Hody Jones down. No targets on the effect. We're going to rest the Gadatsu. Then we're going to swing into it with our Arlong, which they'll probably counter out of, and then we'll swing into it with our Hody Jones. And they're probably going to respond. If they keep this alive, they're dropping a lot of cards, which is good for us. Then we can also keep this alive, let this pass if they decide to attack really strong with it. Okay, we got it off the field, and we get an 8k swing in. Hopefully no trigger. Awesome. Love seeing that. We're probably going to go 7 at the Arlong. Do we keep our body? No. Okay. I actually think we just do this. I think we stay healthy. We'll counter out. We're going to trash a life too. So then we just go... I think we go Arlong first in case there's something that KOs this in life. We swing here. Swing 8. Throw down the Zoro and make them sweat a little bit. This is their Big Mom turn, so totally fine here. And then do we just keep all of our attacks here? I think we just do. I think we just keep everything alive, and then we take this, yeah. Woo! Okay, we have a play here. We have a Hody Jones that we can throw down and get an extra swing in. So let's just do all of our swings. Let's do our normal swings here. 5, they'll probably counter. They're taking them all. Dear Lord, they're taking them all. They just took them all. Are you kidding me? All right, well, we could have just gone like triple attack the Zoro and then play the Hody Jones. We could have done a couple of different options there, but yeah, that was incredibly strong here. I don't know why they took all of them. It was a little bit troll. I think that they probably were hoping to have enough counter to survive the Zoro attacks. So that's why they're just going and taking their life like crazy, but that's insane there. So yeah, on to the next. Red Purple Law. This one's going to be a very interesting match for us. They can just get rid of a lot of our bodies. Unless we just have bigger bodies like the Hody Jones here. We're going to play the Doson, but that's a pretty easy one for them to get rid of. All they have to do is... I don't know. Did we just win? I think we just won, baby. Let's go! Our opponent's being pretty funny here. Yeah. Free win. Look at Hody Jones. Like, it's just like it's so good that your opponent recognizes the strength and they just instantly concede. So, yeah. What can I say? Hody Jones. Don't act like you don't know the name. All right, I don't know about this deck, but because they probably don't know about our deck, we're going to just play this out and see how it goes. Let's play the Kami down. This is one that they could throw us off our curve with the Magellan, which would be extremely annoying to have to deal with. I don't know if Magellan, you'll see it in the meta, but like I said, you might not see Hody Jones in the meta either, just because people are playing the big three, Katakuri, Sakazuki, or Gecko Moria. Where's our guy at? Okay. Cool. We're going to start off with playing a Kami. I think our best option here actually might be the Arlong. What we can do is we can end up playing the Mihawk down. If they swing here, play the Mihawk, play an Arlong, off of it, block their leader attack from the next turn. I think that's our best bet. It doesn't feel great, but they also didn't swing, so I think we just actually do it and soak up a hit. We're not using the card action because it has to be a tapped leader for this to work. Yeah, so Magellan is... They might have... Well, they couldn't have swung anyway. What am I talking about? It was their first turn. I'm thinking way too in the future. But I think this is a strong play to be made because you have two bodies on the field. With only one Dawn investment, you can have this Mihawk swing if you want, and then swing another Dawn with the Arlong, go 7. And in this one, how much ever you want. We'll end up taking this life. Sure. Zoro is a great card to see. I don't know what they have for 4. Oh, a blocker. Okay. This one, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to take the life, so I don't know if I like playing the Ikaros down here. So let's just swing 5. We might actually just swing all of our bodies. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. We're just trying to apply pressure and have them not attack our face so that we can safely put down the Zoro. Okay. Swing 5. And then we'll swing 7 to finish everything up because they have been taking... Okay, so they block there. They might have enough to counter. That was a weird block. I'm not sure. That block sent to me like the message they don't have enough counter power. Ideally, this turn, we can keep the Arlong alive. They're probably going to swing into the Mihawk. They'll very likely ignore the Kami here. I was going to say probably ignore the Kami, but I think it's very likely they'll probably ignore the Kami there. Then we can swing with our leader, hopefully keep the Arlong alive, swing with the Arlong. There's really not a good play this next turn, though. In our hand, rather. Unless, of course, we get something for the Ikaros. So then if, for whatever reason, the Mihawk is alive, we can put a Dawn underneath it, have the Ikaros come out. Maybe take a life if we're healthy. I don't know. But yeah, I think right now we're looking at a pretty good board state against Magellan. Sorry, I don't mean disrespect. What? Okay. I'm not sure. Maybe Maybe the Kami's a threat. Who knows? Maybe they couldn't guarantee that they could kill the Mihawk. Yeah, awkward play. Awkward play. We're at 7. Maybe we just go again. I think we just go again. I think we actually hold on to the Noah's Ark. Let's go 7. I'm thinking I just, like, start off strong. Hit a 7. I probably should have done a 5 first with the Mihawk. But then I was thinking a little bit more about, like, what I'd like to do. Okay. That stops the Mihawk attack. We'll go 6. And we're going to take a life here because why not? We're at 4. We're feeling pretty healthy. The next turn, we won't really have any opportunity to play out a Zeo and do anything, but also, I don't mind just getting it out on the field, just to have something extra. As like a contingency plan in case they are, like, rushing to Kaido. Cool. So, next turn, we throw down a Zoro. I don't imagine that our Ikaros or our Arlong are going to survive. I am assuming that they're playing down a 10-drop Kaido, or sorry, 9-drop Kaido, and they're going to rush in, they're going to KO the Ikaros, and then run into the Arlong, but who knows? That's like the worst case scenario here. I think best case scenario for us is like they just put up more blockers. That does pose like an interesting question though. It's like if they add more blockers to the field, what is our option? Like what do we do here? And I think the actual option is just swing the leader first, bait out the block, and then swing our Arlong and Ikaros. But that's also a good question here, so I'm not entirely sure. All right, finally, the opponent has decided to make a play. They threw down a Mino Koala and still are deciding where to probably attack, but at least we're not getting a Kaido this turn. I wonder what else they could be doing. They might be throwing down like a Queen to probably get the effect off of the Kid and their leader ability being able to minus a Dawn. They're just walling up. Minotaur is definitely a card. Okay, we're just going to block out of this one. Because they could go into the double attack, and that's annoying. All right, we're going to swing 5 first. Bait out a block from the Kid. If they do, okay. So they just tossed a card down. Totally okay with us. Now, what we end up doing is we do this. We play down the Zoro and pass. So the following turn will be an insane turn for us because we are able to do a couple of things here. We're able to throw down the Noah's Ark, rest all of their blockers. Then we can swing 5 here, 5 here if we'd like instead. Just what do you want? Zeo to swing or Mihawk to swing? Probably Mihawk because it's a little bit more badass, but sorry, Zeo. And we have Arlong to swing 6. We have Ikaros to swing another 6. And then we have our Zoro triple attack. It's going to be really, really difficult for them to be able to survive next turn. The way that they survive next turn is they have to have like a bunch of the, what is it called? They played it earlier. Hell's Judgment, yeah, where they minus 3,000 power. They have like a bunch of them, and then they stop my Zoro attack. So no blockers. We're gonna just counter out with 2K. We don't want to take the double attack. We're okay taking all the other attacks though. It sucks that the Arlong didn't survive, but that's okay. Oh, another blocker. See, this is actually why Noah's Ark is somewhat OP here. They're about to find out. All of their stuff is now blocked. Let me swing 5. We're going to swing 5 with the leader. Then we're going to swing 6 with Ikaros. They thought they were safe. Oh my gosh. 6 here. I mean, what? They counter out? Oh, they counter. Okay, nice. Well, here we go. We'll use the card action, restand, swing 9. Swing 9 again. And we have one more 9 swing in case, for whatever reason, they have a 3K counter and a 2K counter. So, yeah, that was a good demonstration, I think, of what this deck could do. Unfortunately, though, it's against a Magellan, which is not the strongest leader in the meta, so I know it probably seemed a little troll at times, but I think that just being able to show the combo off with the Noah's Ark is pretty important, just so you get the idea that it is out there. You can play this, rest all of the blockers in the world, and then swing to your heart's desire. All right, we're going to go first. What we want to see against a Perona is a Hody Jones, which this is great. We see a Hody Jones, we see a couple of Searchers to fill out our gap, and then we have a Zoro. If we can stay healthy enough to be able to do something with the Zoro, I think that's great. I kind of want to just grab maybe a Hachan just to get a 2K counter down. I know that we have a Hody Jones, and grabbing a Hody Jones is nice, but I think staying alive is pretty important in this matchup if we can. Because a lot of our stuff that we throw down will just get answered, which is unfortunate. At least we have something if they decide to search with the baby 5 to attack into it, which is very nice. Technically, we could play both 2K counters down, but that does not feel good. So let's just go 3-1 just to guarantee it. Because sometimes what they like to do is they like throw a 2K counter out and then you have to swing into it, which feels bad. I guess I could have swung with a 6. But I kind of want to get some information first. Okay. That's fine. Vander Decken, because we're just trying to fill our hand with as much counter power as possible. Like, the Arlong is cool, but the problem with the Arlong is if it comes down, it just gets on KO abilitied by a lot of their stuff. So I think it's important to just try to fill out your gap here. It's fine to take a hit early game. You're at 5 life, which is one of the benefits of this leader. Cool. We're going to be able to attack into this one as well. We'll be on 5 Dawn, so maybe we have a play here. We don't. It's just another counter in hand, which that's fine. Go 3 here. We're actually going to just attack with the Kami, because why not? Like, we don't have any other good play. The reason why I attack with it first is just in case there's something that rests a body that comes out of life and they decide to want to play it. So they'll be able to answer one with the brand new. They'll probably ignore the other one if I had to guess. If they just swing 5, I think we can counter out of this one and stay at 4. And the reason why I want to stay at 4 here is so that I can get a lot of pressure in. Okay, well, we can't stay at 4. We'll go down to 2, which I think that's probably fine, right? I think that's fine. Let's just do it. We'll go here. There's also an ability where you can just go Hody Jones, rest the Rosinante. I don't care about the brand new because I don't want them to bring it back. So we're just going to leave it there. It's fine. And they'll likely just use it to attack into the Kami. Okay. Counter out the 2K. It's pretty telling. Our hand is looking good. Yep. 8. It's probably a Moria turn if I had to guess. Oh. It's not a Moria turn. Let's stay alive. Just counter out. Suru Brook. That's a misplay, right? Yeah. Unlucky. But I do think that we had a pretty good chance of winning this game, even though they did misplay there. So you go 5 here. The next turn, you go 8 here. The 5, they will probably have to counter out with a 0K counter, which feels awkward for them. They take that. They go down to 1 with the Hody Jones, and then we throw down a Rosinante. Or sorry, we throw down a Zoro, and then they play their 10-drop, and they pretty much lose the game at that point, I think. So, yeah, I think this was going in the right direction for us, even though our opponent misplayed at the very end. What can you say? How can you deny Hody Jones being extremely strong in this meta? No, I'm kidding. Sakazuki is going to be one of your worst nightmares for this deck. Outside of that, I think you do have a fair matchup overall. So if you're wanting to play a deck that you can grind at locals and get really good and maybe get like a top 32 at an event, I recommend Hody Jones just to try something a little different. So overall, I wouldn't say it's a meme. I think it's actually got some legs to run on here, even though it's a really bad pun on Fishman since they're, you know, merfolk and technically don't have legs. So anyway, with that bad pun, I am out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.